Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate that. Hopefully you are doing well. I'm having a good day. But recently I've had some issues with my pottery where I have these little pop-outs that happen when I fire the pots. They kind of little bursts, and so that's not good. And I think that the problem is the temper that I have been using. I've been using a sand that I collect on Lake Superior, and I think when it gets really hot it actually bursts out. So I have decided just to make my own temper. That way I know exactly what I'm getting and I have complete control over what it is. So I am starting with some wild clay that I have, and I know how that works, and I'm going to turn it into temper. It's a simple and easy process, and I think the end result is really going to be worth the work. So let's get started.
All right, I have a lump of clay. All this is just plain clay mixed with water. There is no temper in here whatsoever, no sand, no grog or anything. And so the goal here is turn this into grog. Now, this is pretty black right now, but once it dries and is fired, this will be a pretty light clay. I think the black stuff is just basically organic material that'll burn out. I'm picking this clay for a couple reasons. One, I know it can take high heat. It's a low iron kind of clay, so it'll work for pretty much anything I want it to work for. And it's going to be light colored, so it's not going to show up in the pottery when I use it as temper. Here it is, a batch of clay. I'm going to take this up and stick it in the oven so I can more quickly dry it out. The clay has dried overnight. It may not be perfectly dry, but good enough for what I want to do. I'm going to put it in the kiln and just get it fired and turn it into ceramic. And here is the kiln. It's not big enough for all of the clay, but I can work in a few different batches and get the job done. I have several pieces stacked in the kiln. I think that should work out okay. To get it started, I'm going to fire it at 850 Celsius. It takes about an hour. It has reached the temperature goal, so let's take a quick peek inside. It ought to be glowing orange. Here we go. So I will shut this down and let it cool off. So the tiles are all fired and cooled, and so the next step is to get them all ground up.
You may not have an electric kiln like I have, so that's not a problem. Just make your big sherds, put them out in a wood or charcoal fire, get it good and hot so that you know it's ceramic, and then just go on from there. No problem.
One option is just to keep pounding with these things with a hammer or a rock. I'm fortunate enough to have a corn grinder, and that should make fairly short work of it. Bit of a safety warning, if you're grinding clay, that dust is not good for your lungs, so wear a mask. Okay, this is after the first grinding, and you can see with these pieces, they're too big right now, I know that. But you can see how they're really angular and sharp, and that's a good thing because that will let the temper grab onto the clay better, make the clay more resistant to both heat shock or thermal shock or drying shock. So what I will do is I will screen these next and then grind the stuff that is too coarse. This is just a window screen that I made. Works out so well. I use it a lot for sifting all kinds of things. But I like a fairly coarse temper, so this works out fine for me. You can see there's a lot of stuff that's not going to go through, but that's okay. I'm going to grind this another time or two. And this is the end result, but we'll still have another step after this as well. Okay, I guess I'd say that's pretty good. This temper is fine just the way it is, but I don't really want the real fine dusty particles in there, so I want to wash those out. So this is a lot like levigating and very simple to do. All we have to do is stir it all up and get all that fine dust particles suspended in the water and pour it out. So here is the more purified temper. Now I could wash it again because there's still more dust in there, but for my purposes I'm not too worried about that because the dust is not a real problem. It just doesn't grab onto the clay the way I want it to. So I think this will be better. I'll just dry this out and then add it to clay when it's time to mix up clay. Here is the leftover dust after washing the temper. So you can see it's just real fine powdery dust. And this will work as temper or grog. It's just real fine and powdery. And I want something that's more coarse. Well, chances are you've got a whole bunch of sherds around the house like this from pots that just did not survive. And you can certainly grind those up to make your grog or temper, no problem with that. In my case, I wanted something very specific. I wanted a grog made from a pure clay. And so that's what I made, and it worked out just fine. It does take some elbow grease, a little bit of time, but it is at no cost. It is free. So hopefully you found this to be helpful. And if so, a thumbs up is appreciated, subscriptions, and of course the comments. I will do my best to respond to every one. And so until next time, wishing you health, happiness, peace, and love. Take care. Bye-bye.